Wow, this is weird. I have no idea who I'm talking to. This video is the first video that I've ever done for morning coffee. Yeah, so hopefully everything sounds good. I did not do a sound check before I started this video. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn down just a little bit. Okay, that should be good. Alrighty, so good morning. Hope everyone's enjoying their work week, school week, whatever you have going on. So this again is the first ever episode of Morning Coffee on the Morning Coffee channel. So hopefully everything looks okay. Hopefully everything sounds okay. Now, before I really get into this, I just want to let you know what Morning Coffee is, what this channel is going to consist of, and that is me sitting here drinking coffee and talking about random topics that I just come up with that are suggested from you guys. Do not mind the lizard back here. He just got moved into here, and his tank has not been set up with all of his decor again yet because it's being cleaned. So anyways, so yeah, that is what morning coffee is. I will talk about things that I just randomly want to talk about, or I'll talk about things that are suggested from the viewers. So far, there are no viewers. This is so weird making this video. It's been 7 years, almost 8 years, since I've recorded a video for a channel like this, pretty much starting all brand new. So now the reason why I titled this what I did, which is side effects of vaping, is because that is what is going to draw people in. That's what's going to get people to come to this video, because everyone wants to talk about side effects of vaping. Now, what I want you to take in from this video, one of the really good key points is whenever you talk about side effects, people will think, negative side effects. But that's not the only thing side effects are. There are positive side effects that can come from products, not just vaping. But anyways, so today I want to talk about the side effects of vaping from my own personal experience, from my experience with vaping. Also, I have a chai latte with a shot of espresso from Lucid Coffee. If you are anywhere near Newburgh, Indiana, I do highly, highly, highly recommend you check out the refinery and get you a coffee from Lucid Coffee. Also, if you want to check out their Instagram, it'll be linked down below. So let's go ahead and get into this. All right, so the first thing I do really want to mention is I'm glad that I picked the time that I did to do this video, because it gives me the opportunity to talk about Fund the Suit. Now, if you are not familiar with what Fund the Suit is, it's pretty much a thing going on right now with the vape industry and the FDA. The vape industry is taking the FDA to court and suing them. If you want to learn more about this actual issue, I will have GrimmGreen's video linked down below. You can go check that out and learn more about that. I highly, highly recommend you watching that video. It's awesome. GrimmGreen is a great content creator. It's really enjoy watching his videos. Also, I will have his Instagram linked down below, along with the GoFundMe account for you to be able to donate to this cause. And again, I highly recommend that also. This is a really great opportunity to be able to have something done for the vape industry and vape community together. So let's talk about the side effects of vaping. That's why everyone is here. That's what we need to really get into, is the side effects of vaping. So I know a lot of people have heard about like vapor tongue, popcorn lung. GrimmGreen just covered, again, GrimmGreen just covered something not long ago on wet lung, and it was a misconception that a doctor diagnosed of a woman. I cannot remember exactly what it was. She had an allergy, and the doctor was like, oh, well, you've occasionally vaped. We're going to pretty much blame it on that, with no actual evidence whatsoever that is what is causing it. That's what's contributing to it, anything like that. Now, I'll have that video linked down below as well for you to check out. So There's so many fake articles against vaping, saying negative side effects, and these are things that really don't have any research to back it up. It's just pretty much false claims that have been made against vaping products, and it's really sad. But for my own personal use, I want to talk about side effects that I've had from vaping. Now, I want to go ahead and mention 0 negative side effects have I experienced from vaping whatsoever. Now let's talk about the positive side effects. I vaped for 4 years, almost 5 years, and continuously I did not use tobacco products whatsoever. I started using tobacco products at a very young age, and I also want to mention that by the time you are watching this video, it will be the 30th. Yeah, it'll be the 30th. So Wednesday, it'll be the Thursday after this video airs, that it will be 7 months since I've used e-cigs, since I've used e-cigs at all. And that plays a really big role in what I'm talking about. So anyways, I started using tobacco products at a very young age. And I had quit smoking before, but I'd started dipping in order to do so. So whenever I quit smoking, I felt like trash. I felt awful. My chest was congested. My whole body just felt congested and gross and nasty. And it was just really awful, coughing things up, really short of breath, not being able to breathe that good at all whatsoever. And it sucked. It was awful. So dipping did not help with anything. Yes, I quit smoking because I started dipping, but it did not help health-wise at all. My teeth on the bottom, I hate my teeth, but what can you really do? So anyways, my teeth on the bottom right here, my gum line where it meets my teeth is just destroyed, especially on this side here, is just destroyed. This tooth, I can actually, if I take my fingernail and I go down enough, I'll get this really nasty jolt in my face because I can touch that nerve in that tooth. So yeah, any tobacco use that I've done has just been completely awful. It's no good. So I got an e-cig to help me cut back on dipping. I was dipping 2 to 3 cans a day, and I wanted to cut back. Now, yes, that is very, very excessive, I know, but I was doing huge pinches, and as soon as it started losing flavor, I'd take it out, I'd put another one in. I mean, it was just, I was constantly dipping whenever I was awake, and it was really bad. It was really bad on my teeth. It was really bad on my mouth in general. It was thinking about it now, disgusting. At that point in time, I didn't really see it as that, but yes, it was very disgusting. Just not good at all. So I bought a clearomizer, and kind of like, I don't have anything to actually like represent it for anybody who doesn't know what kind of like an ego twist looks like, but it was that style of e-cig. And on the bottom, it had like a little adjustable piece where I could turn the voltage. And that's the first ever e-cig I got. I started using it, and I cut back on dipping a lot. I think I got down to like maybe a can and a half a can a day. And it was lasting me a lot longer than what it was before. So I ended up selling a phone. I don't remember what it was, but I remember I sold a phone, and I was going to turn around and buy an iPhone 4 because that was the phone at the time. So I sold a phone, had some money, that I put with that, and I was going to buy an iPhone 4, and I went to an e-cig shop. First time I'd ever stepped foot in an e-cig store, because the clearomizer and ego twist type e-cig that I had bought was from a guy who was kind of doing it out of his house. Now, he had his own business and things like that, but he was doing it out of his house. So I went to an e-cig store. I had about $300 something. And I was just looking to up my setup because just that small, e-cig, it was doing a really good job, and I cut back a lot, like I said, but I was wanting to cut back more. I was wanting something that would be a lot easier to use, a lot better to use. So I ended up seeing the iTaste MPV, and that e-cig was amazing. I bought it and a bunch of juice, and I think I spent about $100 something that day. And again, I bought that just trying to cut back more. The day I bought that e-cig is the day that I quit, and I never touched tobacco again. I still had like 10 to 12 cans of dip, and I didn't touch them. I gave them away to a friend because that's how great that e-cig change was for me. It was good enough to where I could just quit. I went home, just kept hitting the e-cig, and I was like, oh, well, I'll put a dip in whenever I feel like it. I kept hitting the e-cig and hitting the e-cig, you know, and I never wanted to put a dip in, so I didn't. And days went by, weeks went by, months went by, and it's just, I started feeling the change. I didn't have that nasty, like, it's weird to explain. It was like a sinus problem from the dip that I was having, and then that slowly started to go away. I started to feel better. My mouth didn't feel gross. My tongue wasn't like slimy and nasty. It was really, really nice. Now, the whole time that I was vaping, you know, I hadn't smoked in maybe two years. So all of that feeling and nastiness was pretty much gone. And whenever I was vaping, nothing. It didn't do anything to me like that whenever it did smoking. So I vaped for almost 5 years. And whenever I finally decided, you know, like I want to quit vaping, it was nowhere near what it was whenever I quit smoking. It like the comparison is completely off. Whenever I compare quitting smoking and quitting vaping, is just two completely different things. Now, whenever I quit smoking, like I said, there was so many things that were changing. It was like such a big transition. Now, when I quit vaping, the only difference is I wasn't vaping. There was no like feeling that changed. It was no sensation change, anything like that. It was just, I'm not picking up an e-cig and hitting it. That was the only difference. That was literally the only difference at all. The first day, whenever I was being deprived of nicotine, yes, my mood swings were awful. I was getting angry at everything. I was just like, I was so pissed at everything. And that's the only problems I had. The second day, I was fine. Now I'm trying to think exactly, because I went one full day without vaping at all. I actually went 2 days without vaping at all. And then I slowly started hitting an e-cig. Like I would hit it every now and then. It was maybe 5 to 10 times a day I would hit it. And I did that for 2 days. And then I think I went maybe another 2 days and I would hit it 2 to 4 times that day. And then after that, I was done. I didn't hit it at all. I started selling all my tanks and mods and giving stuff away. Majority of my stuff, like Seven's Smoke Vape Shop, I'll have their Instagram linked down below. They're a store in Brentwood, California. If you're around there, I highly suggest going there and checking them guys out. They are some awesome ass people. I really enjoyed a lot of the things that, you know, I'm talking to them, being able to communicate with them on Instagram and interact with them and things like that. I really wish I could go to this store myself, maybe possibly one day. But anyways, they sent me a huge box full of stuff, and everything that was in that box besides juice, I used all of the juice. But the products that they sent me, those were given away to someone that was quitting smoking and starting out vaping, and so far they haven't smoked cigarettes since. But those things were given away. Now, things that I actually purchased and reviewed and things like that, those things I turned around and sold as cheap as I possibly could, because I want people to vape. I want to keep people vaping. And that's just what I want to do. So I started getting rid of all of my vape stuff, all of my setup stuff. I got rid of everything. So I was determined to be done, and here we are, almost 7 months later, and I haven't vaped since. I miss the flavors, but I do not miss the nicotine at all whatsoever. And it's so crazy. It's so crazy. The difference between quitting smoking and quitting vaping, two completely different things. And that's what vaping is compared to the most. That's what it's for. It's supposed to be for the smokers that want to quit, but cannot. So it's a healthier version. Think about it like this. Before I really explain this. Okay, so the big thing that people joke about is, oh, well, you started vaping to save money, but you're spending more money vaping than what you did smoking. In some situations, that has truth behind it. To the person that's buying a new e-cig or a new tank every paycheck, yeah, you're probably spending a lot more money vaping than what you are smoking. But to the person that will every now and then get a new setup, and you're just like, you're sticking to that setup majority of your time, you are saving a lot more money. Now the thing is, this is my comparison between the two. This is how I look at it. This is my outlook on it. You go to a grocery store and you have your processed foods, you have your organic foods. Your processed is not as good for you as organic is, and your processed is a lot cheaper than your organic, because if you want to be healthier, if you want your organic products, you're gonna have to pay a little bit extra for, which, yeah, it's bullshit, but that's just the way it is with those things. And that's the same thing that applies when you talk about smoking versus vaping. Your smoking is your processed, your vaping is your organic. So if you want to continue to do that, continue to get your nicotine and things like that, yeah, you will have to pay just a little extra in order to do so. And that's something that I'm okay with. I was okay with that. So that didn't matter to me. I felt so much better. I could do so much more versus smoking or dipping, or, it was so much better for me personally. I only experienced positive side effects from vaping. I never experienced negative side effects. And the thing is, a lot of people with the popcorn lung and things like that, you can get ammonia, you can get wet lung, whatever the hell that even means. If someone was going to get something from vaping, I definitely would have gotten it. Because there was a point in time where I was burning through 20 to 25 mils of juice within a day. That lasted for like a month and a half because I was under so much stress and I was just hitting it. And I was using 1 milligram because I was trying to cut back a lot, and I was just hitting it and hitting it and hitting it all the time, every single day. Still nothing. My breathing was perfectly fine. I wasn't wheezing. I wasn't like short of breath whenever I tried to do things. Nothing. I was perfectly fine. I felt great. I could run 5 miles and not even stop and be out of breath. I mean, some people may experience different things, but you got to put into account that some people may have a PG allergy. Some people may have a VG allergy, and those are the kind of people that need to, if you need to be careful on the juices that you use. Also, PG dries you out. You have to stay hydrated, things like that. And that's not really a negative side effect, because it's like, hey, you need more water. Drink more water. While you're hitting your e-cig and you're not smoking a nasty cigarette, drink water. It's like it makes you have to be healthier. It makes you want to be healthier. And that's what I really do not get whenever it comes to the debate on smoking and vaping. I will stand by vaping till the end of time, because I've experienced all the way through, side to side, versus, smoking and vaping. I started smoking, I started vaping, I quit smoking, I quit vaping. It's just, there's so much there that people can gain from vaping. And it's crazy all the things that are being put into it. And you know, people are trying to be negative about vaping. It's just, there may not be a huge amount of research, but you have people that are using it like me that have used it and that are given their own like personal experiences with it. And so far there's not really anything negative except for false reports from false research. How do I spill this? Anyways, guys, so that is my opinion on vaping. Again, I'll have both of GrimmGreen's videos, his YouTube account and his Instagram, linked down below in the description if you want to go check his stuff out. I really do recommend you check out those 2 videos that I talked about. I'll have the GoFundMe link down below so you can go fund this lawsuit against the FDA. But yeah, there may be a part 2. There may not be. I don't know. But in case there is a part 2, comment your experiences down below if you want them mentioned in part 2, if there is one. And I will mention your feedback. I will mention your experience, you know, your username, all of that stuff. Also, if you want to comment your experience, head over to my Instagram account, and on the post for this video being announced, comment on it, your experience and things like that. And again, I will link that Instagram account in the video for people to, you know, check you out and things like that. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to thumbs it up. If you want to see more of these random morning coffee videos, subscribe. There's going to be one up every single Wednesday at 7 a.m. I'm sure you can see that on the page if you click it. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. And I encourage people, if you have a friend that smokes, a family member, anything like that, try to get them over to vaping. But anyways, I appreciate your view. I appreciate your thumbs up and your thumbs down. I appreciate your opinions. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. I'll see you next Wednesday.